Gotham City will always need a Batman, through whatever age or era. It seems a Batman will always be needed to protect its fair city, to protect the fair maiden, to protect the people. So once Batman had disappeared for 20 years, he knew it was time to come back. He knew that once again he must summon his inner strength and become the Bat yet again. Even though he suffered a tragedy worse than anyone could have imagined, he had to summon back the one person he knew that was able to protect Gotham and whatever threat comes her way. This was a tale of 40 years later. It was a tale written by Frank Miller long before he went cuckoo crazy insane. This is the tale of how one particular superhero, known as the Dark Knight, finally made his return. Greetings, geeks and nerds, I'm Lazy Universe and White Nerdy, and welcome to an Lazy Universe movie review. And yes, this year marks 40 years of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I haven't read the book myself, but I've seen plenty of people talk about it, and I know of its infamous legacy. Batman: The Dark Knight Returns is technically an Elseworld story, if you want to believe so. Which, yes, in case you're wondering, we're not reviewing just part one, we're reviewing both parts of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns adaptation. But, just to tell people and just to let them know, here's what I remember about The Dark Knight Returns, and if I miss any information, you guys can tell me in the comments down below. We don't need to discuss The Dark Knight 2, nor do we need to talk about The Dark Knight 3. We're just talking about the original Dark Knight Returns. In the story, it's been 20 years since Batman has appeared because, well, after the death of Jason Todd, Bats kinda retired. He basically went into hiding, but yet everybody knows who he is in this universe, including Jim Gordon, and also the Justice League is seen as illegal criminals in this world. And so thus vigilantism and heroism, much like in the Incredibles movie, had to retire or just go into hiding, all except for one superhero who you know that he would basically do what he had to do and work with who he had to work with since, well, he is the greatest superhero of all time. But Batman soon had to return once he realized that criminals in Gotham were coming back into reality, especially for one of his ancient enemies and another who played dead for about, a couple years, I think he said. Yeah. The Dark Knight Returns is one of the best Batman graphic novels ever made, next to Batman Year One. If you have seen The Dark Knight Rises, you've technically seen The Dark Knight Returns. Technically, since Christopher Nolan in that film borrowed a lot from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Mostly a mixture of The Dark Knight Returns and also Batman Nightfall, but it's a little bit of both worlds. So, and also, yes, in this version, unfortunately, in a sense, we'll talk more about it when we get there, Batman technically killed the Joker. I say technically because, well, we'll get to it. And also, a new Robin replaces Jason. No, not Timothy, the first female Robin of the group. And a lot of people think that I might be joking, but I'm actually not. So, with that all said and done, with that old backstory out of the way, let's dive into Batman: The Dark Knight Returns and see what we can get up with. Yes, we're reviewing both of these films, but we're going to go with part one first, so a lot of people will probably like, he's just reviewing part one? I thought there was part two. We're reviewing both of them. You have no idea how long it took me just to buy this. I'm not going to tell you. I'm embarrassed to say it, but it took me a long time. So anyways, let's dive into Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and Part 2, and see just how exactly this adaptation was handled. In the future, no I don't remember the year, Bruce Wayne is doing what else that millionaire would do, race around a racetrack because he has nothing else better to do with his life. But Bruce Wayne seems to be living up a good life. He's celebrating with friends, he's celebrating with people that are close to him, and he basically isn't enjoying his retirement. Well, for the most part anyways. But torn apart and tormented by what happened years past, Batman still can't forget what happened to Jason and what happened to his parents. This is a Batman who'd given up, who'd lost the joy in his world, and even when he's confronted by thugs, he actually wants to take them on just to get some enjoyment out of it. But Batman finally returned down to the Batcave. He finally done the thing and said that somehow something needs to happen, as he feels a strong pull toward the Robin costume. While knowing that Gotham City went to hell in a handbasket, Batman starts, well, kind of going crazy because he can hear the voice of Batman.
You tried holding me back, but you're weak. You know it in your soul. You're nothing but a hollow.
In this moment, Batman was reliving the day that Bruce Wayne died and Batman came to life. Why? Because he knew that Batman had to come back. And yes, indeed, we get to see grown up, grumpy, and disgruntled Batman in this universe. And of course, when he comes back to crime fighting, he's not, well, as fit as he once was. Just like in Batman Beyond, this is an older Batman that still hasn't been around for 20 years at best. So, yeah, he's a little bit rusty in the gears. What makes things worse for Batman is that things are escalated when Two-Face comes back into gear. Yes, Batman's greatest foe, Two-Face, suddenly comes back into action. But what makes things worse is that this is just Two-Face that's broken. This is a Harvey Dent who doesn't know who he is anymore. He's been Two-Face for so long, he's blind to Harvey Dent.
You laugh. Get it over with. At least both sides match now, right? Look at me and have your laugh.
And so Batman, unequipped and ill-equipped to deal with a big threat such as the mutant leader, tries to see if he can take on such a big threat. And of course, as you'd expect, it goes as well as expected, with Batman getting the absolute shit kicked out of him to the point where he is almost dead. But hope comes in a bright, colorful costume as Batman is saved by Carrie Kelly, aka the brand new Robin, who made her own Robin suit to save and support Batman. And there's a nice little bonding moment between Carrie and Bruce, as Bruce actually kinda understands Carrie and Carrie kinda understands Bruce, and Bruce kinda understands why so many people look up to him. However, Bruce notices that Batman is not truly summoned, so he has to go to the one place where he knows he can be summoned, very deep in the darkness of his Batcave. As Batman, Robin, and Jim Gordon all team up together to get the mutant leader in one spot, in order for Batman to show him who the real true justice and face of Gotham is. At this time, Batman, more prepared and more ready than ever and reborn, finally takes on the mutant leader and kicks his ass, starting up a redemption in Gotham City. Crime had gone down thanks to the Batman's return, and including the group called the Sons of Batman are rising up, and everybody is happy, especially one old Batman villain.
React. Gotham City belongs to the Batman.
Batman. Darling.
On to the Dark Knight Part 2. Now with Batman on the rise, a lot of people do not support the Batman anymore. There's Batman supporters and Batman haters, which is something that Bruce didn't want. With the new Batman on the rise, the president, Ronald Reagan at the time, hinted to somebody in a bright red and blue outfit to go after Batman. Meanwhile, Batman's trying to do the best that he can against some new criminals in Gotham, including one weird one that has the swastika on her boobies. No, I don't get it either. That is until, while trying to get information, Bruce, or Batsy, is interrupted by his longtime friend and also longtime enemy. Yup, it was Superman. As Superman tried to tell Bruce, listen, stop what you're doing because you know I have to stop you. As Bruce Wayne only had one option for him.
Alright! Fuck it! Let's give the people what they came for!
Let's fucking go.
I'm so not joking. Basically, Batman tells Superman, bring it on, bro, and you can try to stop me when you come at me, bro, but you gotta give me time. In the meantime, Joker is getting ready for his big debut as he plans to make everybody laugh. as he planned to have everybody laughing for him and cheering him on. As Dr. Bartholomew Wapner tried to give that Joker is, well, sane, not insane, and that it's only part of Batman delusion. Only for the Joker to have been playing Bartholomew Wapner this entire time, playing tricks and playing dead only to do this.
You do whatever you want with it. We got a closet full of them.
As yet, Joker's back in town, ladies and gentlemen, and he planned to get revenge on Batman for whatever that Batman had done. You know, Bruce Wayne and Joker. As this time, Batman is not playing games anymore. He'd finally done with the Joker's antics, even enough so to put a fucking batarang right into the guy's eye. After years upon years upon years of battling out with the Joker, Batman finally wanted to kill him. But yet, Bruce Wayne still didn't kill Joker. For as we always know, Joker tempted Batman to do it, but Joker always wants to get the last laugh in, so Joker on purposely snapped his neck and thus killing himself. But Bruce technically kills him by putting a firebomb on Joker's dead carcass, lighting it on fire for when the police come in, and basically making it an explosive.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
So after that adventure happens, the United States is under attack by Russia, and as they know, Russia is pretty soon going to send over the biggest bomb that they have. So, as a last attempt and last measures, of course the United States sends Superman after it to try to intercept it, but not even Superman could intercept this explosion. Not only did the explosion send out an EMP pulse taking out everything electronic in the world, it almost even killed Superman, no joke. But this was something that Bruce was anticipating, so basically right back into action, so we go to the Sons of Batman and tell them to put down their guns and pick up their fist and follow him into battle. As the world is plunged into a nuclear winter, Bruce has only one option, to take down Superman, but he's gonna need the help of the world's greatest archer. He's gonna need the help of Green Arrow. Oh, you thought I was kidding with that Deadpool and Wolverine clip earlier? No. Bats and Superman actually do go one-to-one head-on collision fight. I can't lie, this fight was pretty worth it. It's even more better than Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Yes, I went there. No, I'm not apologizing. Batman v Superman sucks. And it looks like that Bruce was almost winning. In fact, he almost was, until Superman realized Bruce was about ready to have a heart attack. His heart was underneath so much stress. As the movie sort of ends on a pretty sad, somber note. Bruce Wayne died. He was buried next to his parents. Or that's what they want us to think. Because as it turns out, nothing kills Bruce Wayne. So of course old Brucey is gonna live underground and remake in a new society because that's just what he does.
What are you doing?
I'm Batman, Ing.
I'm Batman. I'm awesome. I got a 9-pack.
Now I will say that Batman The Dark Knight Returns is actually pretty good, but if I may be 100% honest, while it had beautiful animation, great voice acting, especially Peter Weller as an older Batman, well, yes, RoboCop as Batman, and yes, that does work. I do have to say that I prefer the first one more than the second. I've watched the second one more than the first, and my opinions have not changed. The second is still kind of the worst of the bunch. It tried to wrap up things so quickly that it's not even funny. If this was maybe like 3 parts long, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But at 2 parts, you can definitely tell in The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, they were really speeding through things, really trying to get the train rolling and everything. But as it stands, Batman The Dark Knight Returns as a movie adaptation is really damn well, especially with the voice cast of Ariel Winters and Peter Weller. They are phenomenal in this sense. I cannot tell you how much these two actually do well together and work together, and this is a phenomenal movie adaptation. So if you have read The Dark Knight Returns, happy 40th anniversary to The Dark Knight Returns, and you want to see the movie adaptation, go ahead and check these ones out. They are really damn good. Although I do have to say that, despite my opinions on this, I do have to give it a pretty fair Funko Pop rating, especially for both movies in general. They're gonna get the same rating, which I've done around here before. So for both Batman: Return, The Dark Knight Returns may well consider it as one movie, but for both Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, I'm gonna give it the Funko Pop rating of an Aquaman because yeah, I had no real expectation going into this. I knew about The Dark Knight Returns, I knew its legacy and everything, but I never really expected this adaptation to be as good as it is. So my Funko Pop rating of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns gets an Aquaman.
Batman, darling.
Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an upload. I want you to vote. I want to know to keep it on, and be sure to tell me what you think about Batman: The Dark Knight Returns in the comments down below. And have you read the story? And and if you've seen the movie adaptation and read the comics, is it pretty faithful? Is it just a loose adaptation? Let me know in the comments down below, and maybe at some point we'll actually check out and review The Dark Knight Returns. Just the first one. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be using the voice about nerdy keeping on. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every time I make an upload, and follow me at Twitter by link in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be using the voice about nerdy keeping on, and until next time, guys, and as always, take care.